Going on, Falcon fan? This is your boy Ricondo coming back at you with another video. So today we're gonna talk about it's hate week, guys. It's the Saints, the Aints against the Atlanta Falcons. Week one. We got to go ahead and get started on the right track. So we're gonna talk about this rivalry that these two teams have had throughout the years and how much it means to both fan bases and things like that. So, guys, before we get into that, if you have not already, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Please hit that notification bell so you know when I drop another video. Please hit the like button so I know you guys out here that I talk about. Then please share my video throughout the YouTube universe so more people can come in here and talk about these Atlanta Falcons. That's right, it's hate week all day, all week long. It's talking about how much us Atlanta Falcons hate the New Orleans Saints, and we're gonna get into that. Before we get into that, we're going to talk about a couple things today. The Falcons actually finalized their 16-man practice squad. They bring in Kyrus Tonga, formerly of the Chicago Bears. Yes, Ryan Pace is still doing his thing. Bringing in guys. Another guy on the defensive line, who's 6'4", about 330 pounds. Another defensive tackle, somebody can eat up space. Um, a spot that's really important when you think about the 3-4 defense. So, this guy's on the practice squad. We know how they move the 53-man roster around. So when you need that girth in the middle, we really need to see that. I'm going to talk about my keys of victory on Wednesday, so I'm not going to talk about that today. But we'll get into that and some of the things that we need to do to actually try to get a W. As as I already predicted that we're going to get a W. So um, that's where we're going. So let's talk about this rivalry, right? And this is one of the great rivalries in sports. A lot of people don't know that because, yes, you know, between the two teams, there only one Super Bowl. The Falcon got two Super Bowl appearances. We all know how that turned out for us. But if you're a Falcon fan and you know how much that the Saints, the Aints, and the Falcons actually been a rivalry. That's just the way it is. I mean, we know this. See, I'm old enough to remember when the Aints used to actually put bags. Their fans used to go out and put bags on their faces and things like that. People don't remember that, right? People try to act like the Saints, this team that they so called, everybody thinking about now is the team they always been. They have not always been this team, right? And if we talk about, we have played this team 106 times and we still hold the overall season series 54-52. The Falcons still hold the record for the most wins in this rivalry. And since 2006, the Saints actually have beat us 21-10. But we still hold we still hold the lead. So, everybody try to talk about the Aints and how they've been doing. In reality, these guys only been good for one short span, and it was from 2017 to 2020 when they have won the division in that span, right? So they only won the division 7 times, and most of that came in between 2017 2020. So we can stop talk about how good the Saints are, and everybody always talk about the Aints and how good their team is and things like that. But they had just as many, freaking bad moments in big games as the Atlanta Falcons have. And I would say, when you're looking at their team, they probably had a better, put together team than us because they was good on defense and offense, and they still blew it. So, uh, being a Falcon fan, putting the Saints, and I hate that. I can be honest with you guys. I mean, if we're talking about football, and one of the teams that I probably dislike the most, um, if we're going to college, it's probably Alabama. But we kind of rectified that as dog fans, this last season we beat them in the national championship game. But other than that, it's the New Orleans Aints, man. I can't stand this team. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm happy. I'm happy that Sean Payton and Drew Brees is really gone because they were our thorn. Since those guys got there, that's when, like I told you, that 21-10, that tandem was the reason why we had so many issues with the Aints. Before they got there, they was they was the laughing stock of the NFL. If it wasn't the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, it was the New Orleans Aints. Let's just be honest with you. But Sean Payton got there, can't stand him, but let's give him props what props are due. Sean Payton came around and he actually made the team relevant. He made the team relevant. Of course, he got Drew Brees. Those two guys, that tandem, make the team relevant. But let's just stop acting like they such a juggernaut. And even though everybody picking this team to like be so great this year, they're forgetting that one factor. Sean Payton is no longer the head coach. We talked about the dominance they had from 2017 to 2020. They won the NFC South, but during that time, they had only one NFC championship, right? They lost that. We all know how they turned out the NFC championship game when Drew Brees threw an interception in overtime. We're not gonna talk about what happened before that when they somebody blown a call or whatever. To me, I don't know if it was a blown call. Maybe it was a blown call. Maybe it was not. Whatever. Maybe that was pass interference. But at the end of the day, Drew Brees threw an interception. The Rams won it. Rams went to the Super Bowl. Then let's talk about their cornerback ducking his head in Minnesota in the division around, and Len Diggs go up the sideline to score. I mean, they don't have just as many blunders and bloopers than the Falcons have. Let's be honest. But everybody also high here on the New Orleans Aints and so low on the Atlanta Falcons, which to me is just it's kind of ridiculous if you think about it. I mean, we talking about they got a quarterback that was drafted the same year Marcus Mariota was drafted. Only quarterback don't threw 30 touchdowns and 30 interceptions in the season just because he had a great 5 game span last year. He's going to take this team to the NFC Championship game. Let's be real. Let's talk about their head coach. Their head coach, who's 11 and 37 as a head coach. Listen to me again. Dennis Allen is 11 and 37 as a head coach. But just because he has the talent, they're going to forget about his coaching acumen. He's not a good head coach. 4 years of coaching tells you he's not a good head coach. But just because he's taking over the team of a good head coach, Sean Payton, he can just be a figurehead. That's not how NFL works. That's not how football works. Let's just be honest. That's not how it works. You have to come in. You have to be able to coach this team. That's just the reality of it. So this talk about their guys they got, because this is just the reason why everybody they got Cameron Jordan, they got Alvin Kamara, they got Jarvis Landry, who didn't do that much last year. They got Marshawn Lattimore, who all he does is just hold people. He's not, in my opinion, he's really not a good cornerback. Tyrann Mathieu, that was a great pickup. Marcus May, um, Michael Thomas, we haven't seen him in a while, but he's a possession receiver. Um, Demario Davis, I like him. I like him as a linebacker. Marcus Davenport, what has he ever done? Um, we have to see. Chris Olave, rookie, and then, like I said, you got Jameis Winston, Mister Turnover Machine, and that's the guys they're thinking going to come in and just dominate the NFC South. Yes, they don't have Tom Brady's number. We will give them that, but once again, that was Sean Payton. Dennis Allen was the defensive coordinator. We're going to see what he better do as a head coach. We're going to see what Pete Carmichael can do calling the plays now because he's the one that's gonna be calling the plays, not Sean Payton. We're going to see if they can be able to rein Jameis Winston in because he's a gunslinger. That's what he like to do. He like to go out and he like to go out and just do that, do his thing with slinging the ball. Got to come in here from D. Sloan. What's going on, Chief? It's going to be an interesting game, but we're going to be all about the business on. Hey, I agree. I agree. I Like I said, guys, I'm gonna get into my keys to victory on Wednesday. What I take to win this game. But really, what as us as fans, and honestly, you know, what the Saints don't know, it's the unknown. I mean, we don't know what to expect from the Atlanta Falcons offense this year. All right. If you have to take out everything that we saw last year, because for one thing, Matt Ryan is gone, Matty Ice gone. We have a different quarterback under center. Our whole receiving core is different. I think the game plan that's going to be displayed from offensive standpoint is going to be totally different this year. And so the Aints coming in. I mean, the Cameron Jordan said it himself. They don't know what they expect, right? We they really don't know how Arthur Smith is going to call this game. And we can come out, hit these guys in the mouth. I mean, we already been disrespected all off season. Just seeing the report today, Falcons, one of the teams, is going to have a bumpy road this year. I, I, I mean, we went in 2 games this year. Nobody believes in this team, and in my opinion, it's the disrespect for some of the guys that's on this team. So, like, I went down the New Orleans Aints freaking roster and talk about all the guys that everybody keep talking about. Let's talk about our guys. We got Grady Jerry, we got Cordell Patterson, we got AJ Terrell, we got Casey Hayward, we got Kyle Pitts, we got Drake London. We're gonna see what Drake London's gonna do. Brian Edwards. We got our young safety core. We got Okendeji. We're gonna see um what these guys can bring to the table as well. It's not that we have lack of talent. We have some guys that need to step up and prove things, but it's mano y mano. It's chess match against chess match. And in my opinion, and just in my opinion, I think we got a better coaching staff than the New Orleans Aints do. I mean, I really do. I think we have a better coaching staff. How many plays have Pete Carmichael called? How many? He's been an offensive coordinator all these years, but how many plays have he called? This just keep it real. I'm just dying to screw Crow to the Atlanta fact. Me too, man. I know everybody keeping receipts and things like that, but you know, it's so much hate out there. Like it's nobody. Like if you go back and look at the analysts from all the networks for this week game, not one analyst picked the Falcons to win. Not one. Not one analyst picked the Falcons to to beat the Aints this week. So I mean, the Falcons have nothing to lose. They have nothing to lose, right? And when it's all said and done, it doesn't matter what the team looked like last year because when you think about it, what can they go off of? What are they making their predictions off of? Like I said, if you're making off what's on paper, because every time when guys decide to look at guys on paper and what they're going to be, it takes a cohesiveness. You got to come together. It takes take coaching, what the coach is going to be able to do to actually put these guys together and be able to 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 make it work, right? I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I like the additions of Tyrann Matthew as Marcus May and Jarvis Landry. I like those additions for that team. All right. But can Jameis Winston get the ball to him? Can Jameis Winston be able to understand not to just throw the ball up for like he always do? I mean, you are what you are. Can you change your stripes? We're going to find out. All right. I think that the fact that Marcus Mariota had to sit back for 2 years and 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 eat that crow, right, and just to figure out where he was, actually to heal up, because nobody really understands this about Marcus Mariota. He was injured, and hopefully he can stay healthy. Knock on wood. Hopefully he can stay healthy this year. But he had a lot of injuries and things like that. I think he has more talent now than he had when he was with the Titans. All right. I think Arthur Smith have learned, what to do with Marcus Mariota more than what he had to do. That was his first year as an offensive coordinator. He had Marcus Mariota. Marcus Mariota didn't play a lot of games. I tell you what, they came into the stadium that year, and he put up. He probably had one of his best quarterback performances against the Atlanta Falcons that year. Before he did get benched the next following game, but I think Arthur Smith is going to change the way he utilized Marcus Mariota, and I think he have learned over the time. So, we man, just wait, man. There you go. Exactly. Let's go out. Forget all the naysayers. We don't care about. Like I said, I don't want nobody that actually came out and doubted us. We start to win to jump on the bandwagon. No, stay where you at. We don't want you. We want to ride with ourselves because we the only one believe in us. We the only ones gonna go out there and do it. These guys got to go out there and represent. All right. I mean, the disrespect, that people always put on professional players, right? Let's not forget that these guys are pros. They made it to the NFL. These coaches, all these years of experience in coaches, the idea that guys just gonna punt this whole season. I mean, asking questions about 2023 before the season start. I know you guys saw the interview from Arthur Smith today. You're right. It's like we're gonna just forget about this season. He ain't thinking about what he gonna do in his quarterback position for next season. He think about the Saints. I mean, it's like that kind of mindset and that kind of thought process. I get it. You got to write your papers. You got to do all that crap. But the coach is not thinking about next season before we play game one, right? I mean, I know everybody else already punting this season and thinking that the Falcons going to be in the top 10 in the draft next year. And it could be. It could happen, but before the game start in week 1, we're going to already go ahead and decide to to not even give these guys a chance, man. Let them go out there and show what they got. They don't know what to do, what to expect from the Falcons, right? Nobody knows. I can tell you right now, those New Orleans Aints, they underestimate the Falcons, because I hope what they're doing, they're going and looking at the national predictions and things like that. I hope that they going out, they looking at the predictions and thinking that the Falcons gonna suck. And because at the end of the day, what are they prepping for? What they think the Falcons gonna do, right? It was good news to see we seen Drake London back out there practice today. Um, I love the way Arthur Smith don't give you anything in interviews. So we still don't know who our starting center is, even though he said that he already decided it's going to be out on the depth chart. Um, we still don't know if Drake London is going to go. He did show up to practice day. That's good. He said they like the way he progressing. But guys, that's a little gamesmanship, right? We have to let the Aints know that they who they're going to prepare for. Do they got to worry about a 6'5" Drake London out there who they haven't seen a lot in in preseason? They seen one play, right? So they don't know what to expect from Drake London. Play to win. Exactly. I agree with you 100%, man. Let's go out there. We're not playing to lose. I hope they underestimate. I hope, man. I just hope that Cameron. I'm telling you right now, Cameron Jordan. He he swear he's like so great or whatever. And like I said, he sacked Matt Ryan probably more than any quarterback. But Matt Ryan is not here anymore. And Caleb McGarry, it's your year, man. Put Cameron Jordan in his place. Caleb McGarry is your year, dog. You got to do something. You got to come out. You got to represent. Don't let Jordan punk you this year. Let's do this, man. I'm getting fired up already. I've been watching football all weekend. Um, I love the way the dog just dominated Oregon. Um, Football's back, guys. I mean, it's the best time of the season. Let's get ready for this. And then our Falcons get to play the New Orleans Inks, the first game of the season to keep this game off right. So, I mean, let's just do this, man. Oh yeah, I mean, but let's be honest, it's gonna be coaching on. It's gonna be surprises on both sides, between what the Aints gonna do as well and what we're gonna do. All right, but I just like the fact that I'm telling you, man, like the experienced our experienced coaching staff getting ready. All right. The one thing we can know about the New Orleans Saints is that they keeping the same system in place, right? They keeping the same thing in place. All right. Yeah, they bring in Michael Thomas back. They got Jarvis Landry. They got Chris Olave. And I'm talking about for our defense right now, but they're gonna run the same concepts, right? We do know like Jameis Winston like to throw the ball deep. So we need to make sure we keep the ball and in front of us, come up and make plays. We need to make sure we confuse James Winston because, like I said, guys, we know he's going to give us one. He gonna give us one. That's what he do. I mean, that's who he is. You can't. I mean, that's what he is. He's pick interceptions, fumbles. He's going to go for it. He's going to try to make the play when the rusher's coming at him, and he don't want to take the sack. He just gonna throw the ball up. That's what he does, man. Exactly. This is a new team. 100%. 100%. Um, we talked about it. A whole new receiver core. I mean, we haven't even seen Cordell Patterson how they going to utilize him this year. They going to utilize him more in the running game, or they going to utilize him more as a gadget guy, use him in the receiver in the slot. We don't know. We don't. They're gonna have him and Tyler Algier in the backfield at the same time, right? Those are decisions that the defense have to make when they're looking at the formations and seeing how we got things lined up, right? And I mean, we're not even talking about Kyle Pitts right now and the way what Kyle Pitts gonna be able to do. But to be honest with you, I'm excited about the defense. I'm excited about the defense. This defense has got to be um take us to where we want to go this year. To me, it's all about the defense. I like the additions on the offense, but the defense, in my opinion, it's got to be able to come out and hit these guys in the mouth and show these guys we're not playing. Oh, Tonga, I talked about him earlier. Um, like I said, another D lineman, big defensive tackle who actually played a lot last year for the Bears. Had 24 tackles, one tackle for a loss. Like I said, in a on a 3-4 defensive tackle, a guy like Kyrus Tonga can definitely be somebody that can benefit us. We don't know. He's right on the practice squad right now, um, but we do know how they can actually bring guys up from the practice squads for game day. So we'll have to see how that works out. But we do know Anthony Rush is going to start, right? And then we'll have to see who they put in behind him. We got guys like Timothy Horn that they brought in, Dual Anderson, a guy that they brought back to the roster and brought him in. So things like that we'll be able to see. Can we utilize these guys um, on freaking Sunday, right? I do. I'm tell you what I did like. I like the way Dual Anderson was in the backfield. I know it was against the backups against in the last game against the Jaguars, but I liked his penetration. I like the way he was creating havoc. we got to be able to keep the guys off our linebackers, right? Especially when you playing 3-4, your linebackers got to be able to come up and make those plays, right? That defensive tackle got to be able to take on two blocks, right? We want that guy. We want a guy, Anthony Rush, to take on the two blocks, and a guy like Grady Jarrett to win the one-on-ones, right? They have to make a decision. If they have to block Anthony Rush with two people, they can't block Grady Jarrett with two people. If they block Grady Jarrett with two people, that means a guy like Anthony Rush got to be able to win his one-on-ones. That's the what we want to see. And a guy like Tonga coming in, just adding to that depth. We lost Eddie Goldman, we lost Vincent Taylor, right? So we had to bring somebody in to just what I think is one of our concerns is that defensive line position. So Bro Stackton, Ainks ain't going to wait until halftime to make adjustments. So Falcons need to be ready for the counter at halftime. So yes, yes. I mean, like I said, to me, that's all about coaching, right? They're gonna be surprised, and everybody know how NFL works, especially the first game of the season. Probably probably the first 15 plays are scripted, right? So these the plays that they know they're gonna come out with. They're going to try to run these plays and try to get a early start against whatever they're playing, whatever defense they're playing. Um, I think, and I did just my opinion. I think the Aints going to try to create the running game for themselves first. That's what I think they're going to do. They're going to try to use Alvin Kamara, and they're going to try to establish the run, running game against us and things like that. But for us, we got to make sure that we're ready for any adjustments we can do. One thing I do like about Dean P's defense is a multiple, right? It's not the basic cover three, and this is what we do. We're going to keep doing it, and hopefully, um, we be able to stop him eventually, right? That's Dan Quinn. Stay in the cover three. Um, Try to keep everything in front of you. Come make the tackles. I can tell you what I seen from this preseason. I know you guys probably seen it just as much as I seen it. Is how much pressuring Dean Pease we're doing. I know one thing: we're not going to let the quarterback sit back there and have all day to throw the ball. So we're going to be playing a lot of man to man in the back, and we're going to be playing pressures. We're going to try to do confusions. Um, if we send four, we might just send four, but it's not just be the four linemen. It's gonna be some corners, some safeties, and everything coming when we start sending four. I like our receiving room plus Pitts and Patterson's give us more. Yeah, man. Only thing I can say about our receiving room, Brian Edwards, he's gonna have a way bigger role than he had when he was with the Raiders. Drake London is a rookie. Hopefully he can be able, because I'm gonna tell you right now, we already know Marcus Lattimore gonna come out and try to act like he gonna try to punk the rookie receiver. And I hope Drake London show him um what's that all about, because that's what, like I said, he if the refs let him play and let Marcus on Lattimore come out and hold and do the things he always do, because he know he to me he's not a good cover corner. Like I said, he get away with a lot. He gets away with a lot. And hopefully they don't let him do that. But we got a young receiver core. Barnhart is young. Hopefully he can, find some holes if he get some running time. Demir Bird and Lumdace Kids is gonna be our burner. So hopefully we can get space with those guys. But I like our receiver rooms, and you correct. Pitts and Patterson's should be the mismatches that we have. But I think a guy like Drake London can be a mismatch as well if we line him up in the right spots. Uh, I would love to see Ebikadi and Malone in rotation with Okendaja and Carter. Oh, they don't worry. They will be in the rotation, man. They're gonna play. Trust me, those guys are gonna play. Because I think you need to be fresh. I think that D line need to be fresh, man. I know you've seen sometimes when they rotate the whole D line and things like that, but these guys need to stay fresh, especially those rushers. They need to put that pressure on James Winston, because we don't know how 100% how is he is 100% as well. Remember, he did hurt his ankle. We don't know how much mobility he's going to get. We do know one thing about James Winston: he's hard to take down. Um, he's a big dude, so we got to be able to get back there. And he's not fast, so I don't know how he be breaking tackles and things like that. I know you guys remember that one year, Tampa Bay, when he scrambled and he made like a 20-yard run. Eh, I mean, I don't want to talk about that old defense, man. It just really pisses me off. But predicting it now, Bernhardt's going to be good for at least 8 to 10 crucial contested receptions this year. I agree. I mean, I think Barnhart, man, Barnhart, and you look at him when you hear his interviews, he's a no nonsense guy, man. He don't play. He's all about his business. Um, he's an athlete. I mean, if we just looking at Barnhart, listen to his story. I mean, going out playing lacrosse, winning that award, and then going to play college for 1 year, and actually taking the team, you know, undefeated and winning national championship in that division. I mean, I think this guy, he's just an athlete, and I think he's going to show that. Of course, he's still a work in progress, right? He's still just learning the receiver position. That's why his story is so awesome for him to actually come in and show what he's able to do with so little time at the position and to make the squad. So um, this guy's really going to do some things for us. I appreciate the love, man. Let's see here. Is Drizzy Drake going? Man, we don't know. He's out there. He's out there today. They said he did return to practice today. I don't think the injury was that serious. Um, One thing about Arthur Smith, man, he don't give you nothing. So we only time we probably know Drake London gonna be ready to go when he run out on the field on Sunday. So that's just the truth about it. Of course, they'll put the injury report out there this week, and it probably have him as questionable or something like that on the injury report. But we don't know. We don't know what's going to if Drake's going to be ready to go. I hope he's ready, man. We need to be 100% healthy. Everybody needs to be on our cylinders ready to go against this team. It's important, especially for this team, to get off on a good foot, right? All right. We all say this, and it's true. 17 games, the first game of the season does not make your season. But with all the doubters out there, all the haters, so much, we got so much on our, so many chips on our shoulder as a team, as a fan base, right? We got to come out and represent at home. This If we want to change the narrative of the Falcons and get the fans behind it, this team got to go out and represent against the Aints. It's not the Eagles like last year. This is the New Orleans Aints, man. And we got to come in and do our thing. Yep. Yep. We got to come out and do our thing this year, man. Yep, I read the same thing. Like I said, he's out there. Somebody said he was practicing with the trainers, so I don't know how much and he was in the playbook today. Hopefully, like I said, we just see him run out on the field on Sunday, man. Like I said, the depth chart is not going to tell us anything because they could have him on a depth chart like fifth string, right? Um, because that's how Arthur Smith like to do it. Like I said, they can have him on the injury report as questionable on the report as questionable things like that, but he could be ready to play either way. So we're not going to know the status of Drake London probably until Sunday, unless Arthur Smith just give us something on Wednesday or something like that when we hear from him from the coach, and we're probably going to hear from Marcus Mariota and Grady Jarrett on Wednesday too. We just have to see. For me, the one player that I'm keeping an eye on Sunday is Marcus Mariota. I'm just being real with you. Um, I love the way um Marcus Mariota fit in this offense. We still haven't seen a lot yet, but for me, um, because everybody know I was a big Matt Ryan fan, so I mean it's no secret about that. Matt Ryan, Matty Ice, we're gonna miss him, but that was back in March, February, whenever we got traded, we had to keep move on. But for me, the player that I'm looking most to see and seeing how he plays is Marcus Mariota. Because in my opinion, for our offense to be effective, he's the key. Um, Hopefully he learned, guys. I mean, he can't be hesitant when it comes to throwing that ball. One thing we can say about Des Ritter will pull that trigger. Um, and even Desmond Ritter was late on some throws. I think he got lucky a couple of times. But Marcus Mariota, because one thing about athletic quarterbacks, and we know this, but when we talk about athletic quarterbacks, um, they like to you know go back to what they do best, and that's to move, right? But when the play is there and the quarterback has to make that throw, that's what we need to see from Marcus Mariota. So for me, the person that I'm gonna be looking for the most is Marcus Mariota. Yeah, me too. Me too. I mean the way he was walking around, way he's smiling and things like that. Um, but like I said, right now the coach is going to keep things close to the vest. I think somebody said it earlier. They're not going to show their hands. Um, it's the first game of the season. I mean, these guys probably and what you don't want to do is over prepare, right? Because that can happen a lot of times, and you go out and you over prepare, overthink things. You get the game plan in. I'm pretty sure they got the game plan already ready. They're gonna give it to the guys. They probably already gave it to them today. Um, guys gonna study it, get ready for it, and then start to get down to what they want to do. We know Dean Pease get his captains like on that Wednesday, tell them how they're gonna do. They get their input in back and forth, and then they go from there. Right? That's the insight, the little insight that we got about how these things gonna do. But Drake being back, that's a good thing for us. Just hopefully he's ready to go 100%. Unfortunate we did not to get to see him a lot in preseason to see the things he can do, but on that one play, um, and I think everybody can agree on that one play, he caught the ball and he created separation after the catch as well. So the run after catch, his big body, um, those are things we'll be able to see him do. Those crossing routes, and like I said, one thing about Drake London, he can line up on the outside and inside. So that's going to give us another weapon to utilize that we haven't seen in preseason that we're gonna be able to see. And we haven't seen a lot of our weapons this preseason. I can tell you right now, Lattimore can't guard Kyle Pitts. That's a no. If you go back and look, Brian Edwards already got him on a couple of plays. I want you guys to go back and look at that. I seen some highlights where Brian Edwards ate up Lattimore. Um, they gonna probably put him on Drake, right? Because I think they want to try to he gonna try to intimidate Drake London because he's a rookie. You know how many how many battles he try to utilize with Mike Evans. We seen that the battle that Mike Evans and Lattimore has a lot of time. So I think Lattimore they're gonna try to put him on Drake and try to intimidate him, which means to your point, who's going to guard Kyle Pitts? Who's going to guard Cordell Patterson? Right? Who's going to Az Edwards? They're going to try to put Tyrann Matthew on Kyle Pitts. I like that matchup for the Falcons. I mean, I like Tyrann Matthews. I think he's a great strong safety, but I don't think he can guard Kyle Pitts. So that's going to be interesting to see. Yeah, you're right, and that's what I'm saying about Marcus. We want to see Marcus throw the ball, right? That's what I'm saying. He got to. I mean, a lot of passing plays, especially in this. It's on time. You have to make the plays, make the throws on time. Like that play he did to OZ in the back of the end zone. That's the kind of plays he got to make. Like I said, we hope Marcus Mariota has learned his ways. That's some of the things that happened to him in Tennessee. You know, not precise. You got to pull the trigger, man. If he pulled the trigger, hopefully, like I said, he learned from his time with we know with Derek Carr and learning to pull that trigger. However, I do want them to utilize Mariota to his strengths, right? I mean, let's just be honest. He's a great read option quarterback. That's what he does. So you have to be able to utilize that. That keeps the offense on his, I mean, the defense on his toes. They got to be thinking because they got to worry about um, him being able to run that rock too. But at the same time, I agree with you. He needs to throw the ball. If he don't throw the ball, it's not going to be good for us. Um, We didn't see a whole lot. We didn't see a whole lot in preseason. No, we didn't see a whole lot of deep balls. We did see, one of Kyle Pitts, which was kind of underthrown by Marcus Mariota. But we have the receivers to go deep. We have the receivers to go deep. The Premier Bird is a burner. Alumda's a kids. A lot of most of his catches when he played with Matty Ice was deep touchdowns, if you can recall those. Um, so we have the player. Kyle Pitts definitely can go vertical. Drake London, we like I said, we don't know what to expect from him yet. Most of Brian Edward plays, catches that he had when he was with the Raiders was 20+ yard receptions. So, and you go back and look at him when he was South Carolina. He had a lot of explosive plays as well. So we have to see. We don't know how they're gonna play it out. I know Marcus Lattimore can't can't go deep. Like I said, he want to be physical. And the thing last year when we played the Saints when we had Matt Ryan there, they was sitting on all our short routes. If you guys remember that, right? Because they figured that our offensive line could not block. They knew Matt Ryan was going to be in that pocket where he was going to be. So they was sitting on all our short routes, and we couldn't get down the field and let some of our deeper plays develop. We're going to see if they got try to utilize that. Now that we have a quarterback who's not going to be stationary, he's going to move the pocket. He's going to do things like that. So it's going to be interesting to see what they decide to do with our passing game. How they going to try to manage it. Like I said, if anything, we got to make them think we're going to take deep shots. So we need to take a couple, just to let them know that we are willing to go deep. Um, that's some things we got to do. Like I said, we can utilize Kyle Pitts with that. We can utilize Lumday Kids. You give me a bird. Like I said, most of Brian Edwards catches in the Raiders was 20+ yards. So that's some of the things we can look at. Guys, I'm like you. We don't know what to expect from this offense, right? We haven't seen it open up. We haven't seen Arthur Smith mine with these players, right? We seen it last year when we had receivers couldn't get off routes, our offensive line couldn't block, we couldn't run the ball. That's what we seen last year. Hopefully, that's not what we're gonna see this year. So hopefully we can see some excitement from this offense this year. So happy, but also nervous because football is back next week. Nervous, I know potential team. You know what, man? I'm gonna be honest with you. The other night I was actually looking at and I looked at all the predictions and things like that. And then a little sliver of doubt started to come in my head because nobody was picking the Falcons, right? Right. And then I just remember like these guys don't know they haven't been watching this team all summer, all season, and seeing the work that they put in, right? The belief that I have in the coaching staff, the belief I have in the players and things like that. Um, I started to be like, okay, we good, right? Because that's the reason why everybody's picking the Saints because it's a known quantity, right? They know the Saints defense. They know Cameron Jordan. They know Demario Davis. They know Marcus Lattimore, right? They know they added Tyrann Matthew and Market in May, right? They know these guys. So I get it. I'm not I understand why they feel the way they feel, right? But I don't think they know our team, right? So they can, like I said, don't get on the bandwagon once you see these guys play for the first time for 60 minutes, right? Um, keep believing in what you believe. I know they have to do predictions and things like that, but the disrespect for, like I said, a group of professional players that nobody picks the Falcons to win this game at home. I see if it was in New Orleans, I could see that, but a rivalry game at that, right? It's our rival. So for just to think that we're not going to come out in week one and be ready to play is disrespectful. So I I, I felt the nervousness. I'm not nervous anymore. I'm more ready to let's whoop their ass. That's where I'm at. So hopefully he slide this year, man. I mean, honestly, man, if you, I'm not comparing him. Let's say this, but Marcus Mariota does play fearless. This just be real. He puts his body out there. This guy is fearless, man. I mean, look at the touchdown he scored in the preseason. That was reckless for a preseason game, but he's fearless. So hopefully he can stay healthy. You're right, he need to slide. Hopefully they talking to him like don't take unnecessary hits and things like that. But I can tell you this much, and I know you guys agree that he's going to put everything out there to try to win for his teammates and for us, for the fans. So you got to respect that. That's how Michael Vick played, man. Michael Vick played fearless. I mean, stick his head in there, 100 mile per hour running and just dives, right? Um, that's dangerous for quarterbacks, but that's how Michael Vick played, and that's how Marcus Mariota plays too, fearless. So I like that from our quarterback. But you're right, he needs to slide. 100%, he need to slide. All right, that's fine. I mean, I trust Damian Williams. I trust him as a running back. I trust him as a receiver out the backfield. You saw the way the Kansas City Chiefs utilized him in that Super Bowl run that they had. So Damian Williams being our number one running back, no problems at all with that. I feel Tyler Algier is going to get his runs. Hopefully, this a good vision, right? If we could get a lead, right? And then go into our 4 minute offense and just pound the ball with Tyler Algier. That would be awesome. So let's envision that and get our minds going that we can get a lead. And unlike the Falcons teams in the past, we got a lead. We can hold our lead, get into our 4 minute offense, and just pound the ball. Um, you heard Arthur Smith said he loves that, right? Just calling run play after run play, letting the offensive line get off the ball and do their thing. These guys do not want to have to tackle a guy like Tyler Algier in the fourth quarter after they've been playing for 50 some minutes, right? So that's what we want to see. We want to be able to get into a position where we can start running the 4 minute offense with like 10 minutes left in the game. Don't get conservative. That's not what I'm saying, but just run the ball down their throats. Uh, Cameron said, I've seen some content creators say that Franks was a nasty for the position on the 50, well, the wasted position. I thought he was going to be our third quarterback anyway. Let's just put it like that. I thought he was going to be our third quarterback. I thought it was going to keep three quarterbacks. When I did my prediction, I actually had him as the third quarterback, not the tight end. But it's not really about the way they did the roster. I think it's about like I said, the how their the maneuvering of the 53-man roster was savvy, right? The way they did it, like releasing Anthony Fursker was just that. That 53-man roster is just a got names on the roster because we all know that it's not set. It's not set anyway. The 53-man roster. It so the guys that they put on. I mean, think about it. They put five guys on the IR. When those guys come back, somebody gonna have to get cut. So the 53-man roster is not set in stone anyway. But the way they maneuvered it, like I said, and the way they did their roster was smart. Letting guys know go that they know they was going to be able to bring back and bring them on the practice squad. And the way they do the practice squad now, just because you're on the practice squad, don't mean you could be brought up to the roster for game day. That's the way they doing it now. So the 53-man roster is just something they have to do by 4 o'clock on that Tuesday, set the roster. But if you just look how they maneuvered it around and brought guys back, like Odell Anderson, they brought him back. They brought, they cut Mike Ford and Dean Marlowe, brought those guys right back. So I mean, they could have cut Felipe Franks and brought him back the same way, but they decided not to. But I don't think it matters those guys on the back end anyway, because keep in mind when a guy like Marlon Davidson, Deion Jones, Isaiah Oliver get ready to come back, somebody's got to be cut anyway. So and now that the practice squad is full, somebody's got to be taken out of the practice squad if they want to bring some of those guys that they cut to the practice squad. So just think about how they moved the roster. Think about how they did last year. It was movement throughout the whole season from the practice squad to the 53-man roster. So I don't think it mattered either way if Felipe Franks would have been on the roster or not. Um, I think he would have been back with his team in some capacity. So yeah, we have a great running back room. I mean, one thing I could say about Mike Davis, and people people kind of forget about this part of the game, is pass blocking. He was a great pass protector for Matt Ryan last year. He made some good blocks because our offensive line was less than good last year. So a lot of times Mike Davis saved Matt Ryan, even though he got hit. And everybody remember this, that Matt Ryan got hit 150 times last year. So got sacked 40 times, got hit 150 times. So it's a lot. But Mike Davis probably saved him from getting hit maybe 6 or 7 more times. So, but I love our running back room this year. I think that the the mixture they have with Cardell Patterson, still, in my opinion, Cardell Patterson still learning the running back position. He just run hard, man. He just find a hole and go, and he runs so hard and he's so explosive. Um, that's just what he does. Like I said, he's just a football player as well. Somebody, that's why I like Cardell Patterson. But Damian Williams and Tyler Algier, those guys, that room is great, and I agree with you on that. We don't forget about Keith Smith, right? Our fullback. Um, that guy open up holes as well when he blocks. What's going on? To evolve. What's going on, man? See what we got here. Man, I hope so. I hope so. I'm gonna tell you one thing. One thing. I don't know if you guys know this, but Tyler Jerry, you need to make sure you get some tighter football. Man, he kept pulling up his pants every time he make a play. You make sure the thing's tight, man. They're gonna pull his pants off. They can't. It's hard to bring him down. I don't know if you've seen that one play. They hit him. And he didn't even fall. They fell and he went out of bounds. That's a big dude, man. And he runs hard. The key matchup for me is Kyle Pitts against Tyrann Matthew. That's my key matchup. So we think about key matchups. In my opinion, um, Kyle Pitts against Tyrann Matthew. If they have the balls to put him on Kyle Pitts, we'll have to see. But it's no corner going to be able to guard him. Marcus Lattimore, he can't guard Kyle Pitts. Um, they better not put a linebacker like Demario Davis on Kyle Pitts. Um, so if they smart, they put one of those safeties. Maybe, like I said, Tyrann Matthew. We try, but I don't think it's nobody on their team can guard. They're gonna have to bracket him. like a lot of teams did last year. And if they don't bracket him, he's gonna have a good game either way. But that's the matchup I'm looking for is Tyrann Mathieu against Kyle Pitts. Another one, just because I think he's got to come out and get some respect back, and that's Caleb McGarry against Cameron Jordan. Um, I want to see Caleb McGarry stand tall this year. That's that's one of the things I want to see. I want to see freaking Caleb McGarry against Cameron Jordan. So those are two matchups I want to see. Kyle Pitts, Tyrann Mathieu, and then Caleb McGarry and Cameron Jordan. I know that's scary, but hey man, you in the contract year. You got the ball out, brother. I'm gonna take an easy way out and say Grady Jarrett. That's an easy pick when you say who's gonna make the first impact play. Grady Jarrett. Just gonna make a stop on third down, get the ball back to the offense. So I know that's a easy thing, impact play. If we get the ball first, Kyle Pitts. So like I said, I'm still taking the easy way out. If we get the ball first, Kyle Pitts. If we play defense first, Grady Jarrett. I'm not going out on a limb and saying somebody else. I'm just going to go with our known quantities right now. So know those guys gonna be ready to go. Exactly, man. That's why I'm just saying. I still want to see it. I agree. He can't guard Kyle Pitts, but that's why I think they're gonna bracket him. But see, unlike last year, we didn't have no weapons. So when they bracketed Kyle Pitts, Matt Ryan didn't have nowhere to go with the ball, right? So like I said, man, we just need to see um, how Arthur Smith's going to call this game. It's unknown, guy. We don't know. We don't know. Trust me. What we saw in the preseason, that was some of the most vanilla play calling you ever going to see because it's preseason. They just want to see can guys play. There's no thought behind it. It's because you think about it. Offensive coordinators call plays, right? They think about the down and distance. They think about the scheme, things like that. They think about where the ball lined up on which hash mark. All those things. It's so much goes into play calling, and the time of the game, things like that. Momentum, all kind of stuff. This is the game plan. This is That's why it's a science to calling plays. That's why I'm interested to see what Pete Carmichael going to be able to do for those guys. Because for all those years, now they said Pete Carmichael called some plays sometimes for the Saints, but for the most part, Sean Payton was the one calling the plays. He was the mastermind calling those plays, getting those guys into right positions and things like that. So definitely, it's going to see what Arthur Smith going to be able to do with the play calling. Another thing that I want to talk about is the fact that usually Deion Jones, he can shut down Alvin Kamara. So that's one of the matchups I'm kind of worried about because I'm interested to see um, that linebacker group who's gonna guard Alvin Kamara, right? Because he's a threat in the passing game as well. Of course, he's a threat running that ball, but like I said, we always had a Deion Jones out there, his speed to be able to to put a stop to Alvin Kamara. So hopefully we can see how that pans out as well. We don't have that guy out there. Troy Anderson is running 4-4, but I don't know if he's ready for that stage yet. We'll just have to see. But that's going to be an interesting matchup as well. Who they put on Alvin Kamara on one-on-ones and things like that. We got defense got to show up early, man. Like I said, guys, on Wednesday, be on the lookout. I'm gonna do my keys to victory, what I think, and then I'll break down some things that I think the defense need to do, the offense, and everybody always forget about the special teams, but the special teams always If you go back and look at that LSU Florida State game last night, special teams matters, man. Special teams really do matter. Um, man, I hope he do. If McGarry can't show up, man, I mean, put Jaffetti in the game. Put Jermaine Ifedi in the game. If Cannon McGarry, I mean, because I don't know if you guys one play last year, Cannon McGarry is almost 300 pounds. He let Cameron Jordan pick him up off the ground. Like, man, like he can't do that. I know you can lose leverage and things like that, but that's a big man. Don't let that guy pick you up off the ground, man. Come on, you got to stand up this year. Oh, D Alford, man, this guy. This one thing. One thing we know about D Alford, he gonna ball out. He's gonna ball out. So, and we already know he's gonna play because right now, I mean, he's been getting. I think he's going to be our slot for an undrafted guy and to being the starter in the slot. That's not something new. Remember we had the I can't think of the cornerback, other undrafted cornerback that we had that we let go to the Jets. He was undrafted, was our starting nickel as well. So it's that's not something new, bringing the guy in to play our slot. But if the offer can hold up, because I believe that Casey Hayward and AJ Terrell is going to be able to do their things. Um, I love to see that matchup with Chris Olave and whoever guarding him. We can shut him down. I want to see how many times they try AJ Terrell this year. Remember, he did not get con- get tried a lot last year on that side, but we're gonna see if they're gonna try. Yeah, man. Nick Chubb. Yeah, Nick Chubb a beast. Yeah, telling you, man. I'm gonna give away one of my keys right now. We got to stop the run. If we can stop the run this year, um, and that probably be one of my keys to every game this year is our defense stopping run. We gave up 2,200 rushing yards, so it just off the bat, one of my keys to victory every week will be stopping the run. I know that's so simple to say, but if we can stop the run, um, and get these guys in third and long, then we can start to try to develop those pressures and all those other things that Dean Pease like to do. But if we giving up 4 to 5 yards on first down, then it's hard to figure out where they're gonna go because they can run the ball, they can pass the ball, they can do so many things. So um, our defensive running game is important. That's why I think that D line is so important. Oh, I said that penetration in the backfield is so important. We got to be able to stop that. We got to be able to let our linebackers eat, not down the field though, right? We don't want our linebackers to be making tackles 6 and 7 yards down the field. We want them to be able to make tackles, right at the line of scrimmage. So, um, running game is going to be important. Stopping the run is going to be important for us. I know, man. They all they guys, they got all them criminals over there, man. All those criminals over there, but he ain't gonna help us out. Goodell's not gonna help us out. I was hoping Kamara be suspended. I'm hoping the other guy just got in trouble, get suspended. Hey, we need all we can get, but honestly, it don't matter. I hope they is at 100% full strength. We come out and we can show those guys what we got this year. So even though they gonna be there, I don't care. This make we want no excuses, right? Because if he didn't play and the other guy didn't play and all these, like I said, all they criminals don't play, then they'll have an excuse why we beat them. So we want them at 100%, and hopefully James Winston 100% too. Yeah, he talking about Alvin Kamara, man. Yeah, he talking about Alvin Kamara. Uh, what's up, man? Uh, yeah, like I said, I hope for all those criminals, man. You know what, man? They always do the Falcons wrong. So the Rams play Thursday, right? So that gives them a couple extra days to prepare for us. We always get screwed like that. I hate that crap. I mean, they already Super Bowl champions, especially if they lose. They really gonna be pissed off. They lose against the Bills. They're gonna have a week and a half to get ready for the Falcons, and then they're gonna try to take it out on us because they lost. Uh, I just they don't give us our scheduling just sucks, man. Yep. So, but anything could happen any given Sunday. So we could go in and set those guys too. Yeah, man. I agree. I agree 100%. The We have to be able to stop Alvin Kamara out of the backfield. That's why I said Deion Jones. Um, Deion Jones, man, he used to put it on Alvin Kamara. So we don't have that guy now. So it's gonna be interesting to see. Um, but hey, hopefully they got a good Dean P's got a good scheme. Maybe put one of those cornerbacks on him, something like that. We'll just have to see. Of course, somebody mentioned adjustments and things like that. We don't know their game plan. We don't know if they're going to utilize him a lot out of the backfield. They decide to do that. One thing we do know about Dean Pease, like I said, his defense is multiple, so he can change it up, start doing different things. Um, if you're getting beat with something, which I never understood about Dan Quinn, is if they beat you with something, you got to switch it up and change it. He never did. He just keep doing the same thing over and over again. So, uh, oh yeah, man. Well, if you looked at my prediction show the other day, I gave us that L. I think it was going to be tough, but yeah, that game's going to be tough, man. They're gonna try to utilize Aaron Donald all over the line and try to disrupt the things we do. Um, so, but at the end of the day, let's just be honest, guys. We don't know how good any of these teams going to be. All right, we don't know how good the Rams going to be. They won the Super Bowl. That was last year. All right. The Bills, they went deep in the playoff. That was last year. So we don't know how good any of these teams going to be. Like I said, it's all about predictions. It's good for Vegas to do the odds and things like that. But until we get out on the field and see these guys play, we don't know, right? We talking all this about the Falcons. The Falcons could absolutely suck ass this year. I don't think that's the case, but they could, right? And then we'll just have to just, you know, I'm not going anywhere. Hey, either way, I'm ride and die to the like it says, a real Falcon fan. So if we do suck, it is what it is. Um, we got it. But I believe that this team is going to show a lot of people something this year, and that's just not because I'm a fan, but it's just the fact that like I said, when you watch the team and you see some of the growth of the regime and how they've been going through, you can see some things that's promising, right? So that's what I see from this team. So and just the fact that, like I said, a lot of these guys that predict don't watch this team day in and day out like we do, um, and see the ins and out and seeing the progression that these guys have made, you know, from last season, this season. Um, I think they're gonna shock a lot of people this year. I'm gonna read these last two guys, and then I'm gonna go ahead and call it quits for the day. Like I said, keep in mind, I am gonna do my keys to victory on Wednesday. So if you guys want to be back in with that, and let me know what you think about the keys um to victory to see what we think what it's gonna take. Like I said, the honest the biggest thing we can go off what they did last year, right? And what we think this team going to do. Is no film out on none of these NFL teams this year. No team comes in and do the same thing they did last year. They still have the same philosophies and things like that. So you can kind of figure out what they're going to do. And for this Falcon team, I think it's totally different because they can't look at none of the last year film to see what the Falcons going to do. They got the and like Cameron Jordan said, they're gonna go to the Tennessee tape and things like that and see how they're gonna utilize Marcus Mariota, but they don't know. So they're gonna have to make their adjustments during the game to try to figure out, especially if we're being successful. So you say change of guard start Sunday. I hope so, man. Let's do this thing. I see us using 3-1. That's the record. That's the record I had for us. I had us being the Saints. Had us beating Seattle. Had us beating the Browns. I had us going 3-1 in the first quarter of the season. Me too, man. I'm so pumped up right now. You guys already, but I can go out there and hit somebody. They put me out there to do on kickoff or something like that. I'll be ready to go. Yep. Let's go. Last one I'm going to watch any given Sunday before. I know, right? That's right. All those football games, man. Any given Sunday, the program. Remember the program? Remember that game? That football game. Um, let's just go out and man, like this is what I tell the guy. Like so, I went to a Falcons game. It was a whole bunch of, and then we played the Saints. I think this was um not. I think it was 2020. No, not 2020 because that's the COVID year. So it was 2019, and I know you guys remember this game because um Koo had like 3 onside kicks, and we almost came back and won that game. So I can tell you guys, I left the game because it was getting beat. I left. The reason why I left because before the game started, it was so many Saints fans sitting around me, and I was talking so much junk to the Saints fans, and we was already out of the playoffs, right? But I was saying that this is our Super Bowl. We beat y'all. We good. We good. We if we beat the Aints, we good. So that's how much junk I was talking. And then you guys saw how the game started, right? And we was losing. So I kind of quietly walked out, and they was like, "Where you going? Where you going?" Right? Because I didn't want to hear all that junk, that crap they was going to spew after the game and things like that. So I was trying to leave out early. Come to find out that we almost pulled that game out of our hats, right? Right? Like I said, Cool got all those um, onside kicks. Fourier Olakun, recovered some, so things like that. But that's what I like about this game between the Falcons and the Saints is the fact that that like it's good old love hate, right? It was around all those Saints fans. I was talking so much, they was giving it back to me and things like that because we know that this rivalry is it's it. It like I said, it's old fashioned football hate. This rivalry is up there with the Cowboys and the old Redskins, the Dogs and Auburn. Um, that's what this rivalry's at. Like I said, it's not a lot of success between both of the teams, but at the end of the day, when we play the Saints, you can throw out all the records, you can throw out all the dominant teams and things like that, and just we know it's gonna be a dogfight, right? And that's what we expect on Sunday. We don't care what everybody says about their record and how good they are. When we play the Aints, it's gonna be on. We're gonna be ready to whoop their ass, man. And that's the bottom line. And if we go 1-16, if we beat the Saints on Sunday, I'm gonna be happy. That's just the way I feel about it. So, and we can have that bragging rights, right? If we go two, if they say we win 2 games, we go 2-15, but if we beat the Saints twice, I'll be happy. So let's go out. and let's go out and whoop the Saints' ass this Sunday and get to kick the season off right. One game don't make a season, but this game right here, we need to set the tone for this team. This team right here. Let them know that all the work they put in this off season was worth it. All the chips and you guys had on your shoulders and being disrespected, put it all out on the field. Week one, set the tone and let everybody know when they get ready, they see Atlanta Falcons on the schedule, be ready to fucking play football. So that's what we talking about. Yep. Give me a helmet. That's what we talking about. Let's do it, man. Yeah, man. Peace out. Let's see here. Oh, remember the Titans. Oh, I love that game. Even though you know, I love remember the time. It's so many football movies you can watch, right? All right, guys, that's it. I enjoy talking to you guys today. Like I said, it's hate week. It's hate week all week long. So it's not just today, not tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It's all the way to let these guys know that's down there in that nasty city in New Orleans that you can't come up to Atlanta and think you're gonna come up and get an easy win against us this week. It's not happening, and we got to let them know. So let's make sure. So y'all, if you see any Saints fan talking that crap about Jameis Winston being their savior, all of a sudden, man, let's put some common sense in their brain and let them know that, man, please, Jameis Winston, like that's that's the guy that they think is going to turn their, you know what I'm saying? This James Winston got a worse winning percentage than Marcus Mariota do. I mean, let's just be real. So if that's their guy, let's let them know that it's not gonna be what they think it's gonna be. This is your boy Ricondo. Come back at you with another video. Peace.